Lorna Dane, the Mistress of Magnetism, Polaris. First appearance, The X-Men, number 49, in October of 1968. It wasn't Uncanny X-Men yet, it was just The X-Men at the time.
This level of knowledge, like, anyway.
I may have had to look up the, release date or something like that. I mean... I wouldn't have been able to just pull that out off the top of my head. Like when I don't remember everybody's first issue. I know she's the mistress. I knew her name was Lorna Dane, and I knew she was the Mistress of Magnetism, Polaris.
But what I'm saying is, you didn't have to look up anything else. That's crazy. Cause see, I'm overthinking. Oh well, obviously the obvious one is Logan. Wolverine, but no, he didn't do that shit. So no.
Oh no! For whatever reason, the first thought in my head for L was Lorna Dane, and not Logan. But anyway, his real name is technically anyway. James Howlett.
That's right.
The lamest shit ever. He's Logan for life. Sorry if your name's.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry if your name's actually Scott Summers is not meant to be cool.
Jean Grey is not a crazy name.
She ain't meant to be cool either. Phoenix, on the other hand. Anyhow, we're going.
Hank McCoy is not crazy. Okay, sorry. Did you forget the show that we are doing?
No, I was trying to think, because you got me thinking about people's names and what's a cool name. I wanted to make a joke like Bobby Drake's a cool name, and then it actually kind of is, because he's Iceman.
Well, I would say Bobby Drake is actually kind of a cool name. I was gonna shit on that.
Yeah, I was about to be like, none of them are like Bobby Drake. Well, that's why I froze. But yes, hey guys, y'all know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent Big Ugly himself, Omari Ellis Feo Grande on YouTube, and I'm back here once again for an episode of the Whatever We Want podcast, and once again I am joined, as I always am, by my co-host. You know who he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Superjaz.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, that's me. Yes, everybody. Like, as you said, my name is Superjaz, or you can call me Jazz, SJJT, whatever you want, what have you, in the like. And as he said, this is the Whatever We Want podcast, where we always do just that. Except for some occasions, we talk about whatever we want, and we do not let the conversation. We would not lead the conversation. The conversation leads us, and we let these chips fall where they may.
Every Wednesday.
Hard stop. See, no bullshit. No bullshit.
That's right. It's the Whatever We Want podcast, like you said. And so, yeah, we just kind of talk about whatever we want. Let the conversation lead us, as he said. You got any conversation starter?
You have something, seeing as how there was on the, I guess by this point we could say, the sister podcast or the brother podcast to this particular podcast with this guy in the scene. There was a few weeks ago for a certain mockumentary that it hasn't been addressed on here, but it was it opened up with someone saying, my name got brought up on the other podcast with this. So I gotta be just like, my name got brought up on that other podcast by a certain Bill Smith, where he was talking about The Greatest Showman and how the movie really is bad, and how Hugh Jackman, as good as he is, really wasn't good in that movie, and this and that. And I said somewhat behind the scenes, but I'm going to actually say that my dear friend Bill, Mr. Smith, because I know you watch the podcast, and I appreciate it. You know I love you. Vice versa, feeling mutual, all that good shit. I still have that wager, and it appears that you have accepted. So I am going to throw out, because I didn't want to just say it through commenting and through messaging. So I'm going to throw out my wager, my friend. Now I have to come up with what?
Well, then again, I don't know what your wager is, but there's always the possibility that the three of us would be in the same conversation, face to face.
So you saying I should hold the wager for a sec?
And that way you can get us responding in the moment. But I also don't know what the wager is.
Well, it's like I said. Okay, well then in that case,
You know what I mean?
it was originally gonna be that. I just don't know how long it'll take for me to come up with a movie that this motherfucker hasn't seen. Dude, I understand. Pull back the curtain a little bit for the viewers. I understand, like when I'm throwing out movies in the messenger group chat between me, Pete, or Mario, whatever, and Bill, and I'm like, because there's got to be a movie they haven't seen. So I'm throwing out feelers or whatever, right? I got lucky with the first two because I knew that they would have seen them and they hadn't, which was Wanted and Lady Bird. All right. When I said Happy Death Day and this motherfucker said, I've seen it, what grown man, I don't know, I mean, besides my weird ass, what grown fucking man has seen Happy Death Day? That just fucked my whole world up. So I have nothing right now because Memento and Baby Driver was like, maybe. I was like, Baby Driver is, you possibly haven't seen it. Memento, there's a high chance you have. But when he said he'd seen Happy Death Day, I was like, okay, I don't know how long this is going to take. So I'll hold off on the wager. But the reason why I was going to throw it out was because I was like, I don't know how long it's going to take me to find a movie this motherfucker ain't seen.
Well, if you want to throw out the wager.
No.
I didn't mean to stop you. I was just like.
No, you're good. No, does that make sense? You're reassuring that my original plan, which was to do it with the three of us on the same podcast. So I'm going to wait. But like I said, when I threw out Happy Death Day, his ass was like, "Oh yeah, I saw it." What? So that because it just who's seen Happy Death Day?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, but then again, I'm the one that said I hadn't seen any of the other suggestions you've had either. I was like, I haven't seen this. I think he dropped an example of something he hasn't seen, and I'm like, what's that?
I'm trying to not like.
I'm so mad at this.
Necessarily so far on black movie, like not that that's a problem.
Because I haven't done that at all.
But I'm saying not that there's anything wrong with doing that. I just don't necessarily want to do that until I have to.
I get you, and that was kind of something. That was a similar philosophy that I had.
It would seemingly go down the realm of too obvious.
Mm-hmm. That said, it's happened before.
Out of all the movies that a white guy most likely has not seen, most likely, if we're looking at it in the grand scheme, he probably hasn't seen hood movies. Like that's just but right. So that, but it's just and that, not to mention because white people, anybody has seen movies. Like I've seen Bad Moms, and technically, me as a fucking black man, I shouldn't see a movie that's probably geared towards middle-aged white women. So
I haven't seen it.
I thought it was pretty good. Bad Moms Christmas is a stupid, unnecessary sequel. The first one was actually not bad. So, honestly, I like the quote-unquote chick flick type movies every now and then. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I saw Happy Death Day, and for a minute, a good friend of mine was telling me, and this is a guy, a few years younger than me, was telling me like he wasn't like telling me every day, but we started talking about it because he loves movies just as much as me, and we started talking about like something, and then Happy Death Day got brought up. He was like, "Jazz, it's gonna sound crazy, but I'm gonna tell you, this movie is actually pretty good." I feel like I said it on another podcast, but I ended up seeing it because I've subscribed to Dead Meat, where they do all the horror movie reviews with the kill counts and all this shit. And I ended up watching it, and then I was like, "Why is this movie actually really good?" Then I watched the sequel. The movie was really fucking good, and I hope they make a third because I'm just saying. So, but I will throw out that the option that I've got in my back pocket for this guy hasn't seen, if I can't think of anything else, is Cabin in the Sky. Because I know damn well y'all ain't seen Cabin in the Sky. It is a all black and white musical from I don't know, most likely the 50s.
Oh,
Ella
I haven't
Fitzgerald,
seen it.
Ella Fitzgerald and Lena Horne are in it.
Okay, at least I know those names.
Well, I fucking hope so. I hope you would know one of them.
I know Ella Fitzgerald and Lena Horne.
That's what I'm saying. You said you know them now. I hope you know at least one of them fucking names. No, Ella Fitzgerald, Lena Horne in it.
Well, I'm saying I didn't know the movie, but at least I can be like, it's them.
It's been a while since I've seen it, so I don't remember exactly what happens in it. But I remember it was about this dude, Little Joe, trying to go on the right path, and it's about him being tempted but trying to lead like a good life.
I see.
And I believe the dude is in the main character's in his 40s, so it's not like he's like a young guy.
Yeah,
It's like somebody in his 40s still trying to do right. Yeah. I think if I did pick that would probably be y'all first black and white movie.
maybe, probably. I think that'd be the earliest movie.
Yeah, or at least the 50s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The earliest of the movies we've watched.
Yeah.
I think the earliest at the moment is Wizards from 1970 something, unless Godfather came out before it.
You haven't put out Wizards yet.
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
Yesterday.
It's just okay. Okay.
As of the release of this episode, yesterday. So tomorrow, I guess, as of the recording of this episode.
Do you see? I want everybody watching / listening to understand how good of a friend I am. Because we're recording this bitch on Monday for it to come out Wednesday, and then this guy hasn't seen comes out Tuesday. So he said, "Yes, we have." Yesterday, and I did not blow up his spot.
It wasn't until the reason I kept talking about it. Yes, the reason I kept talking is because I was like, "Oh shit, this isn't from a week from now. Like we're not recording for a week ahead. We're recording for this week." So I was gonna be like, "Yeah, we're not sure it has. It came out last week." Kind of just to let you know that it was coming out, and then I was like, "Yesterday," and I'm like, "Oh, tomorrow," because like you said, we've mentioned before that some of these episodes we record in advance.
Right.
Yeah, or the hefty majority, to say the least.
If we can help it, we like to, because of the fact that none of the stuff on whatever we want is time sensitive. If we can help it, we like to stockpile some of these at least, because they're not time sensitive, and it's literally us just talking about whatever the fuck we want.
And luckily, there's nothing big going on this week that could be mentioned with time sensitive stuff. So that's good.
I feel like you're alluding to something that I'm not catching.
Ah. Why is this balloon still in my goddamn background?
Why is it bothering you? There's a balloon back there.
It's because my birthday was a month ago. I don't want to confuse people.
Yeah, the birthday that I fucking forgot to fucking call you up, whether on camera or not.
Happens, man.
I fucking couldn't believe that shit.
I wouldn't trip him.
There is something that happened that we didn't talk about, and I do want to say, whether we spend a lot of time talking about it or not.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Takeoff from Migos.
Yes.
Not sure if you heard about that. Maybe.
I did. And yes, rest in peace.
Yeah, man. Just to go into a little bit of it, I don't believe Migos necessarily created the flow that they were known for, but I think they may have created the flow, but either way, they popularized the flow that pretty much became synonymous with rap nowadays, and majority of mainstream rap that has come out within the last few years. And a lot of people say, and I have to agree, that whether you do or don't like their music, they have solidified themselves in music, but especially in rap history as a top group. And it is just sad to hear the passing of somebody at a young age.
Yeah.
3 years younger than me, 2 years before 30, and just all of a sudden.
I did not
Just
know they were that young.
yeah, yeah. Takeoff was 28,
Hmm.
and he just you just get your life cut down like that. So you don't have to spend a whole lot of time talking about it, but I did definitely want to say rest in peace to Takeoff
Yeah.
because it is
Rest in
very
peace.
it's very fucking sad when somebody is just all of a sudden, especially when you're not hearing too much about them and they basically have the world in the palm of their hands. If they decide to take it and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, it's just like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
So, but off that though, this is something I was thinking about. What's the last album that you listened to all the way through? Whether it's an old album, whether it's a new album, whether it was an album that you had previously heard and listened to again, whether it was something that you just discovered, whether it was any genre, rap, rock, pop. What's the last album you listened to all the way through? Because I was trying to think that before we started recording this today. I went to the store to get snacks or whatever, and I was like, what was the last fucking album? Not just like I listened to half the thing or listened to a song, but what was the last album that I listened to from start to fucking finish? If I listened to it and took a break, it went back. What's the last album I finished? The last album I started listening to but didn't finish was I got through most of J Rock's Redemption because I was checking that out. Rapper J Rock, who's affiliated with Kendrick, or was for a minute. He's featured on Money Trees from Good Kid, Mad City. I started listening to that, and I mean, I listened to a few songs from like some other albums that I like wanted to kind of check out. Like I was listening to going back and listening to Because the Internet by Childish Gambino to like listen to it again now that I'm older to see if I like it now because I wasn't a huge fan of Because the Internet. I like Camp more than Because the Internet.
I don't know much about Because the Internet, so Camp was my introduction to Childish, and I like Camp.
The reason why I like Camp more than Because the Internet is Because the Internet is probably the more superior album from like all the like technical standpoints and all this shit. But I like Camp more than Because the Internet because I think Camp was more raw.
Okay.
Yeah, R.A.W. Because the Internet was a little too polished for me. Like I felt Camp was more raw and emotional and everything. Because the Internet was supposed to be more polished.
Yeah.
I just like Camp because it wasn't as polished. So,
Gotcha.
But I started listening to Because the Internet, and I mean, I guess you could say I listened to it, but I mean, I was listening to it on the way to work, and then I got to work and was finishing it up and was half-ass listening to it, so I guess that counts. I started listening to Dr. Octagonacologist by Dr. Octagon.
All right.
Which is an alias for Cool Keith. Now I know you heard of Cool Keith.
Yeah.
Okay. I started listening to that because the older I've gotten, the more I've gotten into music and whatnot, the more that I within these last like how many years. I mean, we both have like a love of music, but the more I'm getting into music, the more I'm like trying to absorb more than I used to.
Oh yeah.
So,
you definitely outrank me with that. No, I'm not.
Well, I used to absorb a lot, but I'm trying to absorb more. And I go on lists of like, best rap albums or changing rap albums or albums that changed the game. And Dr. Octagon popped up on like 2 within however many years that I've been looking at it. And I was like, well, let me check it out. And yeah, Cool Keith has a very interesting rap style that is not bad. Is not bad by any means. It's actually good, but it is different than probably anybody that you will ever hear rap.
Fair.
Because it's like, here's the beat, doom, doom, pow, boom, boom, pow. He's like, and then the day that I came out and I did blah, 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 I was going to do so and so. Because these things are going to blah, blah. It's like, he's on beat, but he's like, wait, what is he doing? So
I got you.
But no, so I guess the last album I listened to all the way would be Because of Internet, but that's kind of cheating because I happily listened to it. I got it. No, I didn't finish it. I was gonna say Slim Shady LP. I didn't finish it. I went back. I didn't finish it. It can't be Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I don't know them because that was earlier this year. I know I'm listening. I know I'm listening to a whole album within like fucking 8, 9, 10 months.
Because the internet. All right, so my answer is gonna be a little corny, but there's a reason. I don't listen to a lot of. I used to like play WoW and shit like that, and just know I'm gonna be staring at the computer for a minute. I would have some background music on, and it would be like an album at a time and stuff like that. Back in the day, it'd be like, oh, let's listen to some Linkin Park, let's listen to some Outkast, The Love Below, or some other stuff like that. Some fucking Death Clock from Metalocalypse. Some stuff that I would listen to the whole way through. Once I got a Spotify, as well as some other stuff, and built more and more playlists and stuff like that, and got more into like, ooh, I like this anime theme song and stuff like that. I stopped listening to whole albums. Like I can't recall the last. Well, I can only recall one album I've listened to all the way through this past year, because usually I'm listening to a playlist on Scramble. That album was my first listen through of My Secret Identity by Superjaz. Like I said, that's corny because like I listen to your music, buddy, but that's the reason.
I was gonna say real quick, for the record, everybody, I did not ask him this question. Tell him, everybody. Tell him what it. I genuinely wanted to know, but okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, as corny as it sounds, I'm pretty sure that's the last album I listened to from start to finish, because I wanted to give my legit opinion on the album to you when you released it. And yeah, aside from that, like most albums, I took the songs I like most and put them on playlists, and that's mainly what I've heard from the album since. But yeah, listen to. That's the last album I listened to. Before that, it was probably. Actually, it might have been something by fucking. Oh, Attitude City by Ninja Sex Party.
Which.
Because I remember, because I used to do cardio workouts just going through that album.
That's the people on YouTube that do like the cartoon videos, and they like the comedic.
They do have some that are animated videos. In fact, they have a lot. But yeah, they're comedic. Yeah.
You were showing me that shit.
Yeah.
Because what was the song you showed me, like the big song where it was like, "Don't be afraid" or "Get scared" or some shit like that?
I don't know. I know I probably showed you the It's Bedtime video.
That's what it was.
It's bedtime. Yeah. That, I think Attitude City would probably be, aside from like, and that would have been. I think that would have been before that, or maybe after. I don't remember. I know there was a point when I would do the elliptical, and because the album was a certain amount of time, and I was like timing the raising up and down with certain songs, there was a while where I was using that album as like my distraction while I go through it.
That makes working out fun when you do shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. No, the fucking elliptical. Fuck the fucking elliptical.
Well, now I'm up to an hour on it. 3. Yeah.
Good for you.
Elliptical's the like push the thing and
the hands and the bars and the feet.
I can't run anymore. My ankles suck. Like, I can't run for exercise. I can run normally, but ever since this past summer at CEO, where I don't know what I did, I was crossing the street. Felt like somebody hit me in the back of my ankle, which people say usually is an Achilles tear or something, but I didn't hear a snap, which is the other key thing, and I've been walking since, so clearly I didn't tear my Achilles. However, something happened back there, and yeah, my ankle can't take like a lot of impact from running for a long period of time because it'll start hurting. And some days it's just like, God, I think it happened again at CEO Taku, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
You didn't like fall or go down?
No.
It just hurt.
Like it was walking like, oh, what the fuck? And then ankle would pretty much be aching for the rest of the day. Yeah, I felt like someone hit me in the back of my foot.
Maybe it was made out of clay since it was aching. Anyway.
Bet you wish you were invisible right now so no one would have to see you after making that joke. Thank you.
Wait.
I think Zoom got a hold of whatever sound effect you tried to play and muted the fuck out of it.
It was supposed to be an applause sound effect.
Oh.
They took that echo delay and was like, fuck you and your dub.
It just muted the hell out of it. Like, it was like maybe a... But no, like, actual clapping sound effect.
Try from would fit the moment.
Was that the yay?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Let's try one more because you made a great joke, right? So let's try one more that will fit the moment. And now okay.
Yeah. That would fit the moment. It was great. Fantastic, even.
So basically I can't use like 2 of these goddamn sound effects. You know what I say to that?
Well, that time you lagged. What do you say to that? Ah, okay. I don't think Zoom's liking your sound effect board today, buddy.
Is that not picking up?
No, it's... Like I said, it's grabbing whatever your sound effect is and muting the shit out of it like halfway as it starts. Like the yay with the kids, I got yeah. And I'm like, that's probably the yay. And that last one was
really? Because that shit lasts 1 second.
I heard that one. Fuck. And then it was like, fuck.
All right, let's put it like this then. Okay. At one point you heard "cuh," and then that time you heard "fuck." So just take the "cuh" and the "fuck," reverse it, put them together. There you go. Shitty shit. On some shit. All of the shit in the shit was shit. Shout out to Sleep in the Third Row, my old movie review. That was one I quoted from the shit. Anyway,
nice.
You ever like think about how language? Speaking of fucking shit and all that, you ever think about how language was made? I've actually like not spent a lot of time like, but I thought about that before. How the fuck has somebody ever come up with language? Like I would assume that they were sitting there and then somebody held up a pencil, right? And this was before they had language, and somebody was like, and the person was like, no, boof. Boof. And then from then on, they called it the boof or some shit.
That's probably literally what happened. I mean, to be fair, we call our human speech language, and we call the animal speech animal noises.
Which is kind of arrogant.
Like, it's quite literally the same thing. It's just we had the capacity to put a lot of different sounds to it and make them mean a lot of different things. And just regionally, it became language. It's because some people over here are going bibbidi boof, some people over here are going inpisu. And at the end of the day, you know, the an inpisu meets a bibbidi boof, and they're like, inpisu? Bibbidi boof. Inpisu. Bibbidi boof. Oh! You say bibbidi boof? Okay, that's how you say that. Well, we over here say this, so, you know, you come into our country like to speak our language.
I know you're joking, and that's why you caught yourself saying
yeah.
You ever, what was I going to say? You made me forget what I was about to
How did language come to be? And did we
No,
literally went about how we went into that?
Another thing I was gonna say, but then when you
I,
said it, when you started laughing at you said it because you knew that it was like
oh, yeah.
oh man, no. Did you ever wonder? Obviously, we know what it sounds like when we don't understand Japanese or we don't understand Spanish or we don't understand French. You ever wonder what it's like for a non-English speaker, like a non-English born speaker,
I have.
to like hear English?
Yeah, someone where English isn't their first language, a non-native speaker.
That's what I was trying to say, and I couldn't say it the right way, and I said it every way but that was that.
Yeah. I have. I've wondered. And then sometimes I think we hear it when we hear, let's say I'm watching a anime that is dubbed in Japanese. And the Japanese voice actors literally try to say the English words. And I'm pretty sure it sounds the same as if I was to be like, Hajimemashite. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong. But like, nice to meet you. I'm pretty sure I sound like, did you hear how this guy said it? He said Hajimemashite. Everyone knows it. Hajimemashite. Or some shit like that.
Right.
And it's the same thing, like when we hear it in English, like one of my favorite fighting game characters, Terry Bogard. He's just like, okay, take it easy. And they like put an extra, like a lot of the cool hip I speak English characters in, like, or at least when it comes to like being an anime trope, they have like some kind of yes, I am talking English right now. But that's pretty much what I think. Or they, just like lots of people when they hear like Japanese, they're like, yes, arigato, so and so, oh, so desu ne, blah blah blah, because that's all they can really understand out of that. Or people who are like Spanish, because I like Spanish. I know a little bit of Spanish. But sometimes when I hear them, I'm like, I got like 3 words out of that, and the rest might as well have been gibberish. Because they talk fast, and their words have a lot of syllables, and there's nothing wrong with that. English is a weird language too, as we're literally discussing right now. But I think it's a similar experience. I just don't know exactly how. I think they focus more on the tone as opposed to this. You know what I mean?
I believe in a lot of... Well, when I went to China, and then I've heard about also Japanese, in like the Japanese language and some of their languages and culture, whatever, that I want to say a decent amount of Asian languages are more tonal, right?
Yeah.
Because with us, if you say, for instance, if you say "hey,"
what a wonderful kind of day. Sorry.
Exactly. No, if you say "hey," or if you say "hey," or if you say "hey," or if you say "hey," it all means the same thing. Mm. But for them, if you were to say, like, I don't know, for instance, obviously they wouldn't have a word "day," but if there was a word in Japanese that was "day," but if you said it flat "day," or if you said "day," or if you said "day," it would be 3 different words.
Yeah,
because it's tonal for the same sound, but the different tone, lower tone, flat tone, higher tone, it changes the meaning of the word. I remember when we went to China and we learned like a few different words, but it wasn't so much for Chinese for what we learned, at least. It wasn't so much, if I remember correctly, that you could say the same thing with a different tone, but it was the word specifically to say it the right way you needed to put the tone on it.
Yeah.
Because it was like the word water was shui, and I know I said that wrong as fuck. But it wasn't just like shui, it was shui. Like you had to put that like down up on it to make it go right.
Yeah.
Then you probably would say some different shit if you didn't say it right. So yeah. But no, so you're right. A lot of like language is tonal, just like a lot of language going to Spanish speaking and French speaking countries. They make a lot of their stuff masculine and feminine,
Yeah.
and we don't do that with our language at all. Which is
Yeah.
why you have la and le, and you have el and la, and
Yeah.
stuff ends with like whatever whatever o, all this shit, and we don't do that shit. Um, so yeah, it's just really interesting. That's something I have definitely thought about is how the fuck was language first created, and then I like again now because it's the 21st century and we're so connected to each other, but back in the day, back in the fucking I guess year in that case, if it's centuries ago, when they were making language and how everybody in each different area of the fucking world created a completely different fucking language.
Yeah.
So this person wasn't saying chair, but over here they were saying
And
chair.
like, yeah, like this is a chair. This is an isu. What? No, chair. Isu des. It's a chair. Isu des. And they just get mad.
They get mad. And they start yelling at each other. And words that yelling at, I'm just
Chair. Yes.
saying, yelling at a motherfucker over a goddamn chair.
This is a bitter move. What do you call it? In pisu des. No, bibadoof.
If you over yelling at a motherfucker over a goddamn chair or a pencil or just whatever the fuck, you need to get your life straight. Why you yelling at a chair? He's like, bitch, can I sit in it? Yeah. Well, it's still a chair. You know what? You get your little dumb ass.
Ego, motherfucker. Hanasemasu.
What did you say again?
Ego, motherfucker. Hanasemasu. English, motherfucker. Do you speak it? Oh, sorry. Hanasemasu ka. Hanasemasu ka. Because ka implies question.
Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous brothers beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherdeth the weak through the valley of darkness, where he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers, because you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee. I had to memorize that.
And you will know my name is the Lord. Well, you had to. It's
Right.
he's about to shoot a motherfucker. Like they gonna know.
I did the flick by Annie Baker, and there my character the whole time he is saying, like, they work in a movie theater in 2013 when they switch it from real, like REEL, real footage to digital. And my character loves movies, and he's like, the last great American movie was Pulp Fiction, and he keeps saying it and all that, like every now and then pops up in those movies. And then basically his two coworkers pretty much throw him under the bus and do him wrong, and then he stands up for himself by saying that.
Gotcha.
And it kind of pertains to what happens. And when I did that play, out of the whole script, that was the first thing I memorized and made sure I knew, because I was like, man, if I fuck this up, this will be the one thing that somebody's gonna know I did wrong. So yeah. And then there's also, like, I did 6 Degrees of Separation with movies where I was like, how did you get, for instance, I don't remember the shit anymore, but it's like, how do you get Robin Williams to fucking, I don't know, Tom Cruise, and Robin Williams in Aladdin, and to with so and so in Aladdin, and then so and so from this to so and so in there, and blah blah blah. So that was the second thing I memorized, because I didn't want to fuck up what movie this person was into this year. So yeah. What do you think about?
Trying to think if I could think off the top of my head something Robin Williams and Cuba Gooding Jr. were both in.
I don't know either their filmographies that well.
Because then I could go Cuba Gooding to Tom Cruise.
Oh, Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, shit. Okay, let's see. We can backtrack. Okay, you got Jerry Maguire with Cuba. Okay. Uh, I know Ice Cube had to be in the movie with Jamie Foxx. Yeah.
Ice Cube movie with Jamie Foxx? Yeah. He's Players Club.
There you go. Okay. Um, and then there you go. Okay, so you got I did it backwards. I did it back to Tom Cruise.
You did Tom Cruise back to Tom Cruise?
Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise in Collateral. I went out and came back.
I was wondering how you were gonna get to this. I was like, what?
I went out and came back. Like Tom Cruise to Cuba Gooding and Jerry Maguire, Cuba Gooding, Ice Cube and Boys in the Hood, and then Ice Cube to Jamie Foxx and Players Club, Jamie Foxx to Tom Cruise. I did a loop. Oh shit. Okay. Tom Cruise in the movie with Matt Damon.
Tom Cruise and Matt Damon.
Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt.
I'm just about to ask, did either of them work with George Clooney? Oh, sorry, did Tom Cruise ever work with George Clooney? Then again, it's 6 degrees of separation. I keep trying to do it in like 2.
Right, no.
I keep trying to do it in the most direct path whatsoever.
I got Matt Damon in Good Will Hunting.
That's him with Ben Affleck.
No, Good Will Hunting was Matt Damon.
And Ben Affleck. I thought.
Oh, I thought you were saying no. It was Ben Affleck instead. Okay, no, okay.
No,
yeah,
instead of Tom Cruise. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, right. No, I didn't do the loop this time.
But yeah, if Matt Damon was in. Well, there you go. There's your degrees of separation right there. Well, oh wait, what has Tom Cruise been in?
We have to have something
with Matt Damon.
We can't just say Tom Cruise was in Cuba Jr. and then Robert Williams was in with Matt Damon. Done. Like we gotta connect this shit.
You went out and came back in. I just was like, I made some connections over here. There you go.
I made a loop, and you just named movies.
Okay. Well, Matt Damon was in Good Will Hunting with Robin Williams. There you have it. Still doesn't connect him.
How does that connect to Tyler?
Well, he said it with Ben Affleck, who played Batman, as well as George Clooney did. And George Clooney was in the movie with Matt Damon, and that's not Tom Cruise. So, God damn it. That's connecting back to Matt Damon.
Was there a movie that Tom Cruise was in with Brad Pitt?
There has to have been. They left. Hollywood would have left a lot of money on the table if there wasn't.
Or if not Brad Pitt, at least like you said, George Clooney. I got George Clooney, Brad Pitt, or Ben Affleck, and I can make it work.
With Tom Cruise?
Yes.
Well.
And the reason why I say that is because you got Ocean's 11.
Yeah, Ocean's 11 is why I was saying Matt Damon, but that's also Brad Pitt.
Because Brad Pitt, Clooney, and Damon were in Ocean's 11.
And I doubt Don Cheadle was in anything with Tom Cruise. Or any of the other Ocean's 11 actors, because there's 11 of them.
Not all of them are super well known,
though. Bernie Mac. I don't know, man. Robin Williams and Tom Cruise. There's got to be easier than this.
What the fuck movies has Tom Cruise like really done then? Okay, he's done Top Gun. He did Top Gun Maverick recently. He was in
literally every Mission Impossible.
Well, yeah, because they're about him. So of course, Collateral. He was in Collateral. Shibbity dibbity. He was in Tropic Thunder. Vanilla Sky, Eyes Wide Shut.
He was in Vanilla Sky.
Yeah, my friends couldn't tell if I like Tom Cruise or Vanilla Sky. He was in Vanilla Sky.
Wasn't Val Kilmer?
I haven't seen Vanilla Sky, so I don't know.
No, but that's just the they both played
You're
Batman
just
thing
everybody
again.
back to being
No, I'm like that's just that they both played the same character. I was like, wait, Val Kilmer was Vanilla Sky.
Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, Ben Affleck,
George Clooney.
Bale, George Clooney is the shitty one.
Yeah, and now Twilight.
Oh yeah, Robert Pattinson, who didn't do a bad job, but the movie's overrated as fuck. I will say it. I don't care. Zoe Kravitz didn't do a bad job, but the movie's overrated as fuck. I will say it. I don't care. Anyway, what was I gonna say? I think people were just happy that like this Batman movie just didn't suck, so they just said it was more better than it was. Anyway, okay.
I like the new Batman movie.
I didn't hate it. I just think that it exists.
Yeah.
I guess that is kind of like not liking it then, if I say it that way.
6 degrees. So Ocean's. I feel like Ocean's 11 is too. I feel like Ocean's 11 is too good of a fucking opportunity to pass up on because there's so many people in it. How could none of them? Wait, Bernie Mac and Jamie Foxx had to be in something together. Players Club.
It keeps going back to Players Club. Okay.
No, that's how it is. Players Club connects. So Robin Williams, Good Will Hunting with Matt Damon in Ocean's 11 with Bernie Mac, who was in Players Club with Jamie Foxx, who was in Collateral.
Collateral with Tom Cruise.
There we go. We did it together.
Now say it again.
Robin Williams was in Good Will Hunting with Matt Damon, who was in Ocean's 11 with Bernie Mac, who was in The Players Club with Jamie Foxx, who was in Collateral with Tom Cruise.
I didn't think you were going to say it twice.
No, the reason I was doing this is I was trying to make sure it was actually within 6 degrees. I'm like, there's gotta be something. I'm like, Ocean's 11 is too good of an opportunity to pass up on for 6 degrees of separation. Because you got 11 motherfuckers and Julia Roberts. Like, there's a lot of acting talent there. Well, no, she was still in the first movie as well.
Oh no, she was in on the heist in the second one.
And shit, if I wanted to use like cameos, there's Tobey Maguire, not Tobey Maguire.
I was about to say he was in that movie.
Topher Grace. I told you I get those motherfuckers confused all the time.
They are easy to confuse.
Topher Grace.
Topher Grace is in Ocean's 11.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he's one of the people that they're teaching, that Brad Pitt's teaching poker to, as well as dude from Dawson's Creek.
James Vanderbeek?
No, Pacey.
Oh. Okay, I didn't watch the show, so that's the only name I know is one famous person from it. Like,
I had a sister that liked Dawson's Creek. I remember one of them was named like Pacey or something, and that's the one.
Of course, you had a sister that liked Dawson's Creek because every woman of a certain age around that time, of course, she's gonna at least check out Dawson's Creek if she didn't like it. It's like we're recording it on your end, so of course the recording picked that up, but on my end, Zoom delay cut like half of that out.
That's hilarious.
Throw out before we finish. Let's throw out 2 more actors, and see if we can do this one more time. Okay, you pick somebody, and I'll pick somebody else.
Let's go. Oh, Mario Ellis, no. Who's an actor I just saw recently? Idris Elba. There we go.
Okay. I'm not gonna say Jessica Chastain because that's easy as fuck.
Oh, the apparent second worst movie on our channel. Oh, this guy hasn't seen it.
Oh, because the first worst movie is not the worst movie. Fucking anyway. All right. You said Jessica Chastain.
I said Idris Elba, sir.
No, Jesus Christ. You said Idris Elba. Not voting well for our heroes. The fuck? If I can't even think of that shit right. I mean, the first name that keep popping in my head is LL Cool J.
So Idris Elba and LL Cool J.
I don't know too many movies LL has done. That's why I didn't want to throw him out, but we can make it work. All right. What has LL done? LL was in Deep Blue Sea.
My hat is like a Sharks fan. Deepest bluest. My hat is like a Sharks fan. All right. Samuel L. Jackson was in Deep Blue Sea.
Oh shit! I'll be trying to find some more stuff in his filmography, but Sam Jackson's been in everything. So,
so that opens the door.
That opens a whole lot of. Okay, LL to Sam in Deep Blue Sea. Sam Jackson to.
Gotta get to Idris Elba. Idris has been in a ton of shit too.
Idris has been in a lot of shit too. Okay.
Did Samuel L. Jackson?
I got it. I think I got it.
Okay.
LL Cool J to Sam Jackson in Deep Blue Sea. Sam Jackson to Dwayne Johnson in The Other Guys. Dwayne Johnson to Idris Elba in Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw.
There we go. I didn't even think of the other guy who's in everything.
Oh yeah, Dwayne Johnson.
Which is ironic that they're both in the movie called The Other Guys, just based on this particular thing. Right. Like the two guys that have been in everything. Oh god, that's right. You're at a point where you can use The Rock as a good.
I didn't even think about that.
As a good gateway point for 6 Degrees.
Shall we do one more, sir?
Sure.
I'll pick the first name.
Go ahead.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Lupita Nyong'o?
Lupita Nyong'o.
Okay. Chadwick Boseman. No.
Shout out to Wakanda coming out later this week too.
That's coming out this week? Oh my god.
Pre-screen Thursday, technically opening Friday.
Damn, I was planning on watching One Piece Film Red on Wednesday. Alright, so I keep wanting to think of people, but I'm like, they're in the MCU. That's way too easy.
Yeah, that'd be too easy.
And so with this next person that popped into my head after that, because of the.
When you said Sam Jackson, though, Dad made it where the second I thought it, like you said Sam, I was like The Rock. There you go. So, yeah.
Oh, Sean William Scott.
Sean William Scott. That is a challenge. Oh shit. That's a fucking challenge. That's 2 eras of cinema, let alone 2 different types of movies. So, shit. Because you got late 90s, early 2000s, and then you got like mid 2010s and on. Shit. Yeah, that's a challenge. Okay.
And just so I'm right, just so I make sure I'm thinking right, it's the chick from Black Panther.
Yeah, she was
okay.
In Black Panther. She was the main character in Us. You seen Us?
Yeah.
The one who talked like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's her.
Okay, so I think I got it. I think I got it.
You think you got it already?
Yeah, but probably because of the fact that I didn't think clearly enough. And so this actually became easier than it needed to be because of a similar connection that you made with the last one. Because Sean William Scott is Stifler, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Lupita Nyong'o, I'm fairly positive she was in Endgame. Avengers Endgame.
I would be surprised if she wasn't. I can't say 100%.
Well,
I'd be surprised if she wasn't.
even so, she definitely had to have been in Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
And so was and so was Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
Who has also been in a movie with The Rock. Who has then been in The Rundown.
The Rundown.
With Sean William Scott. I'm like, God damn it. I literally just fucking put them together just like, oh wait. Sean William Scott was in The Rundown with The Rock. And then Samuel L. Jackson.
Sam Jackson and Dwayne Johnson are the jump off points. 6 degrees of separation.
Hell, if Tom Cruise did anything with Samuel L. Jackson, we could have connected him to Jamie Foxx via the fucking Django, or rather, if Robin Williams and Samuel L. Jackson had been in the same thing, we could have connected them with Jamie Foxx and Django to Tom Cruise and Collateral.
Ain't that some shit? Tommy Davidson. Winston Duke.
Who's Winston Duke?
Winston Duke was M'Baku in Black Panther. He was
the head of the Jabari.
Yeah, he was head of. He was Lupita Nyong'o's husband in Us. Big dude, big like black dude.
He's the head of the Jabari in Black Panther.
I don't remember what
the guys that were like barking at the dude.
Yeah, and wearing like the furry shit.
Yeah. All right.
So Tommy Davidson, Winston Duke. You don't know too much shit Winston Duke been in.
Nope. He's been in Black Panther.
I know more than you though, but yeah. I can tell you Black Panther and Us definitely. All right. Let me see. All right. What movies has Tommy Davidson been in?
Booty Call, Bamboozled, The Ladies Man.
What? Who was in The Ladies Man? Okay.
Was it? Oh no! I'm thinking Tim Meadows. That's on me. That's on me. He might have been. Yeah, he wasn't in. I'm not gonna say The Ladies Man. I got him mixed up with Tim Meadows off the top of my head. Two people who recently on this this guy hasn't seen. Two actors that we both say were underappreciated. Tommy Davidson and Tim Meadows.
Up Juwanna Man. Okay, I'm not looking up anything else. So that's cheating. I just wanted to make sure he was in Juwanna Man. Now, Tommy Davidson was in Juwanna Man. That's right. He was the one that was like. Miguel Nunez is cross-dressing and playing a woman, and Tommy Davidson was the one that was in love with the female that he thought that didn't know what Miguel Nunez was. So yeah. Okay. So he was in Juwanna Man. He was in Booty Call. He was in Bamboozle. Okay.
As well as probably some smaller roles, other things.
And other shit. I don't want to look at his filmography because that's cheating. Because it's supposed to be on the side. Okay. So we got Winston Duke was in Us.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, what's her fucking name? Is it Kate Moss? Who was the main character in Invisible Man? Who's the girl who is the main character in Handmaid's Tale? It's Kate Moss, right? I'm assuming it's her. I'll look that up real quick, and that's the only thing I'll look at. I tried to make it accessible for you to at least give me. Something.
No, that dude. And then when you mentioned what all movies has Tommy Davidson been in, I'm like, oh shit.
Elizabeth Moss.
Okay, Elizabeth Moss. Kate Moss is somebody though.
Kate Moss, I think is if she's not an actor, she's a supermodel, one of them two. Okay, Elizabeth Moss. Okay, so Elizabeth Moss was also in Us.
Okay.
That's why I was trying to figure that out. Because Elizabeth Moss is the white family when Jordan Peele said that he made it a point that the first people to die in his horror movie weren't going to be black. So he said,
that's hilarious.
Because, black people always die first. Okay. So, Winston Duke, he was in Us with Lupita Nyong'o,
Yes.
with Kate Moss. I mean Elizabeth Moss. He was also in. We got the entirety of Black Panther, which branches off to Endgame. Okay.
Yeah.
We got Tommy Davidson. He was in Bamboozled. He was in Booty Call. Booty Call had Jamie Foxx and what was it, Jada Pinkett also, right?
Yeah, Jada Pinkett. Oh well, not Jada. Booty Call?
Yeah.
No, Vivica A. Fox. Vivica A. Fox, who was in Set It Off with Thomas Jefferson Byrd, who was in Bamboozled with Tommy Davidson.
Damn, okay, I didn't got that. Okay.
But I don't know if Vivica's done anything in recent enough time to be involved with this dude. Because I just listed a bunch of 90s ass actors.
You did, right. Well, Tommy Davidson. Tommy Davidson is more of a 90s actor.
So is Vivica.
Right.
And Thomas Jefferson Byrd was about late 90s and stuff. Oh, you went to the standbys, didn't you?
It all goes back to Sam Jackson.
All right.
Tommy Davidson in Booty Call with Vivica A. Fox. Vivica A. Fox and Uma Thurman in Kill Bill. Uma Thurman and Sam Jackson
in Pulp Fiction.
Sam Jackson was in Endgame with Lupita Nyong'o, Winston Duke, Black Panther. There you go.
Nice.
Sam Jackson.
It all goes back to Samuel L. Jackson.
Sam fucking Jackson. Because you know why? If you ever get lost on something with Nick Cannon, you're like, damn, how can I make this work? Sam Jackson had a random ass part in motherfucking Chirac with Nick Cannon. Who knew that? I randomly remembered that shit. Fucking Sam Jackson, goddammit. Right? Gee, how am I gonna make this work with Gina Davis? Or Jeff Goldblum for that matter. Well, good night, Sam Jackson. Like, goddamn, man.
Or Jurassic Park with Jeff Goldblum and Sam Jackson.
What the fuck, man? Sam Jackson, you are the shit, man.
Very much so.
Anyway.
Who the fuck is this asshole? Some of the first words we ever heard from that guy on screen.
Oh, damn, yeah, Coming to America.
Yep, which also opens the avenue to a whole lot of other black people that you could connect Samuel L. Jackson to. Also, when you think of anyone who's ever been in a fucking Star Wars, you got... He's in so much! I love it!
Yo! Anyway, well, if you want to connect the dots with us and connect them right back to seeing our faces all over this beautiful web, then you can go ahead and look us up on our respective socials. For yours truly, anywhere you stream your music, go ahead and look me up under the name Superjaz, which would be spelled Superjaz. Anywhere you stream your music, if you do so, you will find an album by the name of My Secret Identity. You may have to put in Superjaz, My Secret Identity, because I'm not so famous yet. Also, go ahead, find me on Twitter under the name Superjaz2, which would be Superjaz number 2. And of course, look me up on Instagram under the name Forever Superjaz. The word forever is spelled correctly. Where can they find you?
Well, obviously, you can find me here every week, every Wednesday on the Whatever We Want podcast. You can also find me elsewhere on YouTube under the YouTube channel Feo Grande. That's Feo Grande. I mentioned that earlier. We have mentioned that earlier on the show. Jazz called it a sister show or brother show. It's its own show.
No, I said this guy hasn't seen.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's its own show. This guy hasn't seen.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your channel. Okay, I got you.
This guy hasn't seen.
We can be a sister.
I know, I'm just messing with this. Just makes it seem like it's less significant and subservient. No, this guy hasn't seen. Yeah, no, I'm just messing around with you. But yes, this guy has a scene where me and my good friend Bill Smith, who has also been mentioned on this show, yes, indeed, we trade movies or TV shows or whatever back and forth, usually some kind of visual media, and have a great time doing it. Anyway, also I'm on Twitter and Twitch at Giotavi. That is Giotavi. Come on in, stop on by. Ragnarok came out, so you can watch some Norse gods die as I play as Kratos in that game, which came out today. So yeah, so I'll be trimming that a lot more.
And yeah, we close. Like I said, Mr. Smith, the wager is still out there, but I will hold off to exactly what it is. Like I said, in my back pocket, I got Cabin in the Sky. If Bill has seen Cabin in the Sky, I give up. Like I don't fucking know.
I mean,
But
you had that one thing you were talking about.
oh well, I know y'all haven't seen that, but that's like so. Cabin in the Sky is in the back pocket. Welcome to the Circle is like in like you know how you go up in certain areas and they tell you keep your money in your shoe, in your sock, in your shoe. So this is the back pocket that's in the shoe. Like I don't want to have to pull the secret stash out the shoe if I was like got to, but that's in the shoe. I know, and like I said, until I showed my friends Welcome to the Circle on a little movie night we had a few weeks ago, nobody had seen that movie except the people who made it and me.
Gotcha.
Good movie. But anyway, all that being said, as well as what we just say, it just came out earlier, yesterday from when we were recording it earlier this week. The First Sunday Wrestling Podcast also drops the first Sunday of every month on this channel for all the wrestling heads just like us. We can't not talk about wrestling, so we did a whole podcast devoted to just talking about wrestling.
Yeah.
That being said, whether it be about who's connected to who and which is which and the who and the what's and the bam and the who and the I don't knows, whether it be about where language came from, whatever the fuck it be about, you would think by now I would know, and I'm so fucking embarrassed, and I apologize. But what the fuck are we gonna talk about next time?
Whatever we want.
Be nice to yourself, everybody.
Adiosness.